Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Bring it up! Ready? 50, plant. 52's the mic. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Hey, all day, baby. Get nowhere.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
Here's Switzer. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10.
On the ready. 50, Mike, 50. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 18 big yards on that one, and a New England first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
15 line. I got you, punk. Hey, watch.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line. It's the tight end. It's your wide receivers. Everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. And this
blitz coming, and down he goes.
They can't stop us, baby.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Boom! That's how we do it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
SOS, 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 SOS.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now P. Ryan. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Yeah, baby.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Banjo.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great play there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down, it's Drake. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. Going deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be...
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Mike's 50, Mike.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 35-yard line. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 27 yards there, a first down. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And this is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We call that a sack plus.
Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the second quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After one quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought,
he's going to go. Albert Wilson. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Yeah, Albert Wilson. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
All day.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I'm coming after you.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a carry for Pirine. Now they'll have it first and goal following that gain of 17. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Switzer on the return. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Michelle. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll try and run for it. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
They'll throw now on the final play. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Patriots to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Steelers, and they lead this one as well as they start here 1st and 10.
Hey! I got him. That's me. Hit it. Mike 50.
They'll start the 3rd quarter here on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Michel. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off play action. Jones. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. A big play there for New England. 48 yards.
Let's go, boys.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They find some open field here. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. A great play there. 33 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Oh, let's go, D. That's what I'm talking about,
Brandon,
D.
I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
A big play there for New England. Give him 42 yards on the ground. The ultimate speedster showing that speed in front of this home crowd. They love that.
Made me stand up on that run because right now all I want to do is wave to the crowd. More noise, more noise. You got to reward him for that one. A big-time monster run.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run it here with Pirine. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Check.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Set, baby! Good job.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A great blocking nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground is Michel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant. Hey.
Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd.
Defense wins championship. Check.
Here's Pirine.
Check.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here I come. Switch it.
Right back to him on first down. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
39. I got one.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a completion to Wilson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. It's complete to Drake. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
Sack. Got him. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being...
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says He has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Let's go.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Check pass. Double tight. Double tight.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got the first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score.
Yeah, that's the score, baby.
A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those.
Santa Clara. We will hear from Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo and take you inside the winning locker room. And at this point, we have no idea which one that will be. Exciting finish on the way. We'll see you after the game.
Yo.
This may come down to Seattle kicker Jason Myers. You see how the year is 12 of 17, and it could be redemption. Last week, when they had that nail-biter against Tampa, this was the end of regulation. The should-have-been, could-have-been game winner, but he slides it off to the right. He missed a 40-yarder. Missed a couple of field goals, missed an extra point last week, but Russell Wilson made up for it by getting the game winner in overtime with the touchdown. Now, here we are coming out of 2-minute warning, and it's a 2nd and 6 with the ball on the San Francisco 32. The Niners trying to stay unbeaten. The MVP frontrunner, Russell Wilson, trying to score the signature win. Carson able to break through that first wave for 5 yards. 3rd and 1 yard from there. Seattle took over on their own 25 with 6:17 left in this game. And this will be the 10th play coming as San Francisco smartly chooses to use a timeout. 1:55 remaining. They'll have 2 in the bag, and it's a 3rd and 1. Of course, last week they went to overtime against Tampa. Wilson put on an absolute show. This was a big play to Metcalf, and then the game winner to Hollister, as Russell Wilson had 5 touchdowns last week. And the game winner in overtime. 3rd and 1.
And this is the biggest play of the game right now. They get the first down, the 49ers only have 2 timeouts. Seattle can pretty much beat the clock down and set up for a field goal.
Let's see if they can. Carson in the backfield with Wilson. 3rd and 1. Carson. Great job by that defensive front. As they get the stop. And they'll use the timeout, obviously.
Good job by that defensive front. conversation to see, hey, you want to go for this? It's fourth and a long yard. And I think they're going to go for it. Here comes Russell Wilson. I will kick the field goal here. To me, it's a tie ball game, 21-21. You kick the field goal, and you turn it over to your defense.
It would be a 46-yard field goal from a guy who was a Pro Bowl kicker a year ago and just came off a bad week.
But even then, I have to kick this field goal and go up. Maybe they throw him offside or try to.
Let's see if that's the play. 4th down and 2 as they line up over it. And a timeout indeed will be used by Seattle.
Yeah, Pete's trying to figure it out. I just think you got to kick the field goal. I mean, your team has battled all night long. You kick the field goal, you go up 3, you try to play defense.
This division that is just loaded up top. I mean, you got the defending NFC champion, the Rams there, sitting there in 3rd place in the NFC West. As this ascendant Seattle team with an MVP candidate, Russell Wilson, and then the last remaining unbeaten team with the 49ers. And here they are, throwing haymakers all night long at each other, back and forth.
And Pete Carroll makes the right decision. I completely agree with the move now, Pete. Hey, your team has battled all night long. It's 27-17. What is this, a 44, 45-yard
46-yard attempt. 46-yard attempt for the lead here from Jason Myers, who missed a 40-yarder would-be game winner at the end of regulation last week.
About to win.
Seahawks take the lead with 1:45.
He made it.
San Francisco
He made it.
have one timeout to work with, and Jimmy Garoppolo will get his chance. Snap, hold, and through for Myers. Good rotation, good stroke, and did he ever need that after such a difficult week last week? And Carroll believed in him. Earlier this week, he was questioned, and he said Jason Myers simply is our kicker. Remember, they went out and signed him in free agency.
I got a
The Jets let him
game,
walk
dog.
after a Pro Bowl season last year. He was 33 of 36 with the Jets last year, and they let him walk. Goes to Seattle, some early season struggles, but here in a big spot, he comes up even bigger.
And that's a confidence builder. That's your head coach. I know Pete was thinking about going for it. When he called timeout and he put confidence in his kicker, he said, you know what, I'm going to put the game in your hand, and he delivered. That is a nice job. That'll pay dividends down the road with your kicker.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And here is Richie James on the return. As James wrestles his way
Think so?
for a 22-yard return. So Jimmy Garoppolo comes out with the moment that perhaps he's been waiting for. Defense has been doing it last week. He had the 4 touchdowns, and now trailing and trying to stay unbeaten at this point of the season.
Here's the way I look at it. Division rival, no Kittles, no Sanders. Not time to run the football. It's all on Jimmy Garoppolo, and the entire NFL has been waiting to see this.
Here's the test. Empty sets, Coleman splits out. 4-man rush, should have been intercepted. K.J. Wright could have closed the door right there.
You want some too, old man?
KJ Wright, old ass.
Jimmy G is feeling the pressure in the pocket. Jadeveon Clowney just ran Joe Staley completely over. And just ill-advised throw by Jimmy Garoppolo. Just ill-advised. He's got a receiver open underneath.
Coleman's in the backfield with him. 2nd down. And that was